Hey everyone, Clear's Glory Young here. So guess where I'm at? Yep, so I'm here in nature again, but today it's it's a little bit different for me. One of the reasons why I kept on coming here is because I understood the context of not only just being in natural environment, but what could actually come out of being in that natural environment. So in psychology, they use the term nurture, where it says if you're in an environment, it nurtures you. In layman's term, that just means that it rubs off on you. But beyond that is what happens when something rubs off on you, then chances are you could see it now being exemplified in your life. So it moves from just something rubbing off you to where now you're exemplifying it in your life. And that goes for instance, you're in a abusive environment. The abuse that you're seeing in that environment or getting in that environment, it rubs off on you. So you leave that environment and then you go exemplify it elsewhere. So now you're saying stuff to someone that's abusive, or you're doing something to them that's abusive. So the same thing applies now if you're in a loving environment. You go out and you say something that's lovely, or you do something that's lovely for someone. So the big component that I saw behind it was that whatever environment that you're in, then it rubs off on you, but not only just rub off on you, it actually allows you to one point exemplify what is it that was rubbed off on you. So that for me has been a big factor in why I kept on coming here. So now when I say, hey, go and be a part of nature, I'm not just saying it from a spiritual component, but I'm able to show you something tangible that became a result of my life. So that's something that I'm going to share with you just in a little bit. But the big factor was actually coming here and seeing the results of something tangible. Like, yeah, I could talk about, hey, it's therapeutic for me when I come here. Yeah, but you can't see that. When I listen to the birds, it's like it does something. Just the sound of it, like it puts you in a whole different trance. For me, it does. Not being able to sit down and look around and oh, there's four walls. That's all I'm looking at. Being in nature and being able to look as far as I can and seeing different elements, like it's therapeutically inclined as well. So that's good. But now I'm able to show you something that's tangible as a result of me continue to come in here over and over again. So what is it that I'm talking about? One, yesterday I launched these three elements. So a part of what I've been doing is looking at what's going on with this pandemic circumstance. And for me, as a person who is involved in the community, I've been looking at it like, what is it that I could develop that's going to be contributing to the circumstance, and something that's not just overnight. Like, I didn't want a quick fix. So for the past couple of months, I've been sitting down, coming to places like this, and really having that moment where I could actually find something that's not only beneficial to right now, but beneficial to the post pandemic season. So, what happens when all of this is gone? So, that's what I've been doing behind the scene. Beyond just coming here, yes, it's nature, like, but the amount of things that it allows me to see from a different angle, like, I don't share those things with you, but I do come here every time I come here. I always come here with a journal, and I journal. It's funny. About a couple nights ago, I threw out 4 pens, and the reason for me throwing them out was the idea that the ink in them were finished. That's how much writing I've been doing, and really not I don't share everything that I do or I experience when I come here. I just share tidbits. But behind the scene, I've been sitting down and saying, all right, what is it that I could really develop that could really be beneficial to what's going on within this pandemic, but also beyond the pandemic. So, yesterday, I was able to launch these different elements. One, I launched a website. The website is called theairportadventure.com. So theairportadventure.com is from me being in the different environments of the airport from last year and seeing how so many things in the airport could be beneficial to our life on a day-to-day basis. And I witnessed that firsthand. It really helped my life. So I've been looking at that from last year. It so happened now that this pandemic season, it allows me now to really bring them out. So if you don't know this, the number one thing about the airport, their priority is what? Safety. What's the number one thing that's recommended through this pandemic? Safety. So me understanding the concept of safety from a different level of looking at the airport safety, I was able to put some things together. And then yesterday, I just launched the website. The website is actually the context of what is going to come. I wrote a book, a children's book, and I'm working on publishing it. It's called The Airport Adventure. So that's where the airportadventure.com comes into play. But also being in nature, nature allows you to blend things that normally probably don't work together, but it allows you to naturally blend them together. So you see a bird, you see an animal, you see an insect, three different entities, but nature blends them together and they call this place their home. So that's what I'm looking at now. So another component that's being blended with the airport adventure is the concept of I Am Big Inner. So some people know me from I Am Big Inner that I used to do before. And actually, I'm wearing one of the t-shirts now. But if you type in IamBigInner.com, you go to this, it lands you at the same place as the airportadventure.com. So I'm actually being able to now blend those things. But I'm blending them together to work on something new, not the same old stuff. So the first thing you'll see when you go on the page, it says a new adventure. This is a part of the new adventure that I've been taking on. So that's one. The second thing that I launched yesterday was an encouragement video. It's called The Elements of Encouragement. So it's something that I'm actually working on now. Yesterday I just did a demo of me sharing a video of encouragement. And here's why I'm talking about encouragement. So being in the community for years, I've done public speaking and stuff like that. And what happened when you're doing public speaking, you speak from either two angles. One, motivation or inspiration. So I've been learning about motivation and inspiration for quite some time. At one point, I started to view them as not relevant anymore. When I started to learn about different components. One of the components was there's a rule that says, not a rule, but a study that says that after 72 hours, the inspiration or motivation wears off the person. So when I looked at it from a pandemic standpoint, I can't produce something that's going to be within 72 hours or wearing off. So that's how now I applied encouragement. And the other component of that is actually looking at it. The pandemic brought the biggest element. The biggest element is fear. Your fear of you getting whatever is out there, right? The fear of you losing your job, the fear of you not having a stable income, the fear of you losing friends and family, fear. What actually helps you to combat fear is actual courage. So you have to have the courage to face the fear. So that's how now I'm like, okay, I need to develop something that's encouraging. So that's where the elements of encouragement comes from. And that's how now I was able to share an encouragement video yesterday with the launch. The third component now is the biggest component of all. Like, I've been seeing where myself, I didn't want to be in a predicament where I'm constantly have to do videos or have to say stuff or post stuff or share stuff where it's like every day I have to do it. If I have to be in your face every day and tell you what you have to do, you'll never become you. You'll become me, because all you're doing is just following what I'm saying on a day-to-day basis. So I didn't want to be in that predicament. So what I've developed is called a formula. If you understand the formula of how to work something, then you use the formula and you go work whatever you want to work. That's me now really sitting down and understanding mathematics. So mathematics comes with formula. So one of the formulas in mathematics is called multiplication. So if I put two numbers together and multiply them, then the formula tells me that the number result that I'm going to get is going to increase. So understanding that formula of multiplication, if I understand it, then I could now find ways to increase things in my life or increase numbers. So that's the same thing that I've done with this formula. It's called cup it and live. But the difference is I spell cup with a regular, not the regular C, I use K. And cup it and live represents, for me, it's a formula that you're able to now understand on your own and take it and apply it to your own circumstance. And you can do it whenever. It's not within a time limit. If you know how to do something, you don't have to wait on a time limit for it to expire. So for me, it's cup it and live. Cup, as in the regular cup, you can fill your own cup. That's actually the theme behind it, how you learn how to fill your own cup, which is now going back to the I am big inner. The I am big inner concept was all about how do you become bigger inside, fill your own cup. So that's the component of that. Cup it and live. I spelled it with a K because the K represents knowledge. U represents understanding, and then P represents practice. Let me apply that to my own life. So where am I at? Nature. So I come here. One thing that I know is that I have the knowledge of nature. So that's the K, the knowledge. I also now look at the second component, which is the understanding. So I understand nature. If I'm in nature, what's going to happen? It's going to rub off on me, and it's going to do it naturally. So that's the science behind it. So I understood that concept now. And then the third component is what? I came here, I practice, I come here day by day. And sooner or later it started to rub off on me. And then that's how now I'm able to launch these elements yesterday. So cup it and live now, I'm able to exemplify that how I know the knowledge of where I'm at, and I know what it is, nature. I understand the element of how it works, the science. If you're in it, it's going to rub off on you. And then what did I do? I practice coming here day by day. So now I'm able to see a tangible result. So going back to what I was saying about now, inspiration or motivation, I moved away from those, and then now what I call is cuption. And cuption, as in the regular cuption, not the one that I just developed. Cuption, when you have a cuption on something, that it means it's getting a grip on something, a stronger hold. And that's the same idea that I place behind cuption. So when you know what something is, you understand how it works, and you're practicing it, then it allows you to have a strong hold on that thing. Perfect example. If I'm trying to ride a bicycle, I know what it is. How does it work? Gravity and balance. If I know how it works, then if I continue to now practice riding it day by day, sooner or later, I'm going to have a hold on how to ride a bike. And then later on now, I could live my life by riding a bike. So the concept of it is cup it and live. Understand the knowledge, understand the understanding behind it, which is the science, and then practice it. And that's applicable for any circumstance that you're in, especially in a pandemic circumstance, where you're saying, hey, how do I cope with what's going on? Know what's going on, as in know what it is, know what it is going on with it, right? And then understand how it impacts you or how it influences you, and then find ways now how you're going to practice coming out of it. Knowledge, understand, practice. That's it. So when I understood those concepts, now I was able to put them in a formula, and I was able to now exemplify the context of me coming here now and being in nature, and how it has helped me to put these elements together where I was able to see a tangible results, and I launched them yesterday. They're all natural, whether it's encouragement, whether it's the carpet, they're all natural because I'm in natural environment. So this is what I'm saying. It rubs off on you, and then now you're able to exemplify it in your life. So when I'm sharing with you about being in nature, this is what I was actually talking about. And I was waiting for me to have something tangible that I could show you that, hey, here are the results that came out of me being here. So I'm sharing with you, if you have that time that you're able to say, hey, I could go to nature, then go there and be in that environment where it starts to rub off on you, and sooner or later you'll see how it becomes tangible results in your life. In the meantime, I'm gonna get back to enjoying this lovely environment. Be safe, be healthy, and be in a circumstance where you can increase your sanity. These are all things that I'm really gonna elaborate on at some time, develop other things. The airport adventure, this is what it's all gonna be entailed. Safety, health, and your sanity. Three of the most essential element of your life. So I'm going to be dealing with that as well. So that's where the airport adventure comes in, and I'm going back to I Am Big Inner, where it's you filling up your own cup, learning how to fill up your own cup, so you don't have to rely on certain people to fill your own cup. So you can now mobilize the way you're supposed to mobilize with your life, which is to live your life. This pandemic has given us a moment of where we're in survival mode. So that's how now, listen carefully, cup it and live. When you live your life, you're not in a survival mode. So cup it and live. It's something that I'm going to be working on bringing out more of it. So in the meantime, as I said, be safe, be healthy, and do things that will increase your sanity. God bless.